Welcome back to the Accessible Art History YouTube channel. This week, I'm digging into another art history mystery. Cleopatra, aside from Tutankhamun, is the most famous ruler of ancient Egypt. Her beauty and intelligence captivated two of the world's most powerful men, Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. But even without these men by her side, Cleopatra was extremely capable. She was the first and technically last ruler of her line to speak the native Egyptian language, and she fought for her right to rule until the very end. But alas, the Roman Empire was too strong and she chose suicide over being paraded in triumph. But since that fateful day, the world has had no idea what happened to her body or where Cleopatra's final resting place is. There have been some clues over the years, including a breakthrough in November 2022. So, to learn more about this mystery, keep on watching. In 31 BCE, things were looking bleak for Antony and Cleopatra. A year earlier, Antony had officially divorced his wife, Octavia. She was the sister of the powerful Octavian and the grandniece of Julius Caesar. This was a huge, embarrassing blow to Octavian, so he forced the Vestal Virgin to reveal Antony's will. Though this breach was illegal and against religious practices, it ended up being the coup de grace. In his will, Antony stated that he wanted to be buried with Cleopatra, that the couple's move to declare their children rulers of territories was legal, and that he intended to make Alexandria the capital of the empire. This enraged the citizens of Rome, and Octavian declared war on Cleopatra when he was elected consul. On September 2nd, 31 BCE, the fleets of Cleopatra clashed with Octavian ships at Actium. Though her fleet was larger, the sailors were not as well trained. When it became clear that Rome was winning, Cleopatra and Antony fled the battle and headed for Tyanaron. Eventually, they split up, with Antony going to Greece to raise more troops and Cleopatra going to Alexandria. She intended to negotiate with Octavian and install her son Caesarion as the next pharaoh. However, things went south. On August 1st, 30 BCE, Antony's forces surrendered to Octavian. Cleopatra fled to her tomb and sent word to her lover that she had committed suicide. In despair, he stabbed himself. He was brought to Cleopatra, who had not, in fact, killed herself. However, she would soon follow him to the afterlife. After Octavian captured her three youngest children, the twins Alexander Helios and Cleopatra Selene, and her youngest son, Ptolemy Philadelphus, Cleopatra knew that only one fate awaited her, being paraded in triumph as a symbol of victory. Bravely, she declared, "I will not be led in triumph." Back in her tomb, Cleopatra committed suicide. Tradition states that she coaxed a highly poisonous asp to bite her, but historians aren't 100% positive that's the case. Regardless of her manner of death, the location of Cleopatra's tomb was lost to history. Due to her reputation as a femme fatale and powerful ruler, Cleopatra has captured the public's imagination for centuries. Archaeologists have searched for her tomb, knowing that it could not only help us understand her final moments, but possibly rewrite history. Firstly, because her tomb remains undiscovered, there's a good chance that there are treasures intact. This could potentially unlock knowledge about Ptolemaic Egypt. In addition, the majority of what we know about Cleopatra's life come from later Greek and Roman sources. Although some of them are primary, many of them are biased against her. Cleopatra's tomb could contain Egyptian or Ptolemaic sources, which could grant a new perspective on the extraordinary woman. Uncovering the location of Cleopatra's tomb, however, has proven tricky. One of the biggest hurdles is the fact that, in the 2,000 years since Cleopatra's reign, the coastline of Alexandria has gradually eroded into the Mediterranean Sea. This includes the area where the Ptolemaic palace and royal grounds were located. So, if Cleopatra's tomb was built near her residence, it's highly likely it crumbled into the sea. In November 2022, lawyer and archaeologist Dr. Kathleen Martinez announced that she and her team had discovered a 1,305-meter-long tunnel at a site known as Taporius Magna. Martinez claims that this tunnel could be the key to finding Cleopatra's tomb. It's one of the long line of discoveries at the site that point to it being the queen's final resting place. Firstly, there's a temple dedicated to Isis. Cleopatra, like the other rulers before her, associated with the goddess. Hundreds of mummies have been uncovered, all facing the temple. Additionally, coins and small sculptures dating from the reign of Cleopatra have been discovered around the site. Martinez is confident that she's close to discovering the lost tomb of Cleopatra. So let's hope she's right and keep an eye on our news. Cleopatra is one of the most extraordinary figures in history. Hopefully someday we're able to uncover her tomb and learn even more about her.